Okay, hello. Here I'm gonna add some functionalities for styling with Bootstrap. Bootstrap is what we're going to check soon from the website. We're gonna add the link here, and then we're gonna make sure that our table that we have already there is gonna look much more pretty. So we're gonna search for Bootstrap. We're gonna go to their website. We're gonna download a file from there that is gonna be compiled in CSS file. We're gonna save it into our desktop or download folder, wherever you want to save it, and then we're gonna copy this link. The link is, at least if we copy this one, we're gonna use from the CDN, is gonna be from the online source. But what if we made a few changes to this link? So we just copy and then apply it to our HTML file exercise list, and we made a few changes. So what we're gonna do here is basically edit this href, and the reference is not gonna be this way, that towards the website, but it's gonna be to our directory. In this case, it's gonna be the CSS. So in order to do that, we need to create a CSS folder. So then it's gonna retrieve that file there. We're gonna create it in the new into the static folder. We're gonna create a new one there called CSS the same way, and we're gonna move this file, a .min.css bootstrap file. We're gonna copy it, and we're gonna insert it into our project, like the gym planner in this case. We're gonna go to static, and we're gonna paste it there inside, just like that, manually. So we make sure. Then after that, we're gonna refresh it as well, of course. But we also need to tell this HTML5 for sure that this is a time-leaf link. So we're gonna use the time-leaf reference, and we're gonna use the same link, just like the one before, but in this case with the time-leaf structure, that is an at and within the brackets. So that's how it should go. So now we should be pretty much ready to go. We need to add some classes, and that's how Bootstrap works. So we're gonna work on our div. There we're gonna have the class that's gonna equal container, and after we have that, well, we of course we need to refresh this. After we have that, the table is gonna move more to the center, like that. And the table, we can create some interesting styles for this, like a stripe table. So we're gonna type stripe table hyphen stripe, and it's gonna look like this. At least that one I know by heart. But if we want to change, for example, the headers, I can show you. We should go to the website soon. So we're gonna Google the website again, Bootstrap. I just closed before. We're gonna go there, take a look to the documentation, and we're gonna find something related to tables. Let's see where it is. There are the tables too. Then we have buttons over there. You can check also, we have utilities for colors, images, but we're gonna, well, search to the point table. We're gonna notice that here there is a motion for the headers. So the class should be called thead-dark. That's how it works. So we call it thead-dark, and it's gonna look like that. So the header now of the rows is gonna look the same way. Refresh, yes, it looks that way. So perfect. Right after this, what do we have? We want to create now a delete row. So in the last part of our row is gonna say, it's gonna have a link that once we click that, it's going to delete the whole row. And that's something pretty interesting to do from this back end part. We're gonna create this A tag within the TD tag, and we're gonna give it the TH reference. the same structure as usual with an at, brackets for time leaf structure, and we're gonna direct this towards a link. So let's say we're gonna move from exercise to delete. We're gonna make sure soon that that's not gonna happen. We're just gonna remain on the same page. So we're gonna specify what exactly ID means here. An ID equals what we called earlier an object with a dollar sign, brackets again, exercise dot ID. And where does it ID come? To remind you, is the exercise Java file. We also specify the ID part. So we say this is the identifier of that row, and it's going to show like this now. Once we refresh, there is the link already. We're going to, after this, also add some colorful bottom layer. So we're going to check, okay, this is danger, is in red, warning is in orange. We want to get the danger part, so it means delete. To make people feel uneasy about pressing that button. So we're gonna add that class just like that. We copy paste it, and now after we check, it's going to look like this. Awesome. So of course, if we click it, it doesn't work, right? So we need to go to the exercise controller file. Yes, that's it. And we're gonna create some reference for the delete part. So it's a request mapping. Well, I'm gonna add some information on this request mapping file part. So we're gonna say on that one is for finding all the columns and rows, and for this one is for deleting one row. So we're gonna say, okay, where do we go here? We add the same way as when we had to find the rows. We add a value in this case, and the value is going to be where it's directed and also the type of method. So the value goes there first, followed by comma, then method equals, and then we use the function request method camel dot get, because it's a get, it's not a post. So the value is going to have that slash delete slash in brackets ID, just like we did on the exercise HTML file, the same way. So this is referring to this, and that means we are not going to move there. We're going to specify later on the return part that we're going to remain on the exercise list HTML file once we click on the bottom. So well, we create a class, public class string that is going to return a string just like above. So we call it delete row, and inside this we are going to specify a path variable function, and that's going to have the ID. So we import the request method function, and we also import soon the path variable. So here we have also a long, and the long variable is the ID row. We're gonna give the name now to refer to the ID that we want of that row that we want to delete. So we use a repository, like I mentioned to you earlier, is for deleting, editing, and creating new rows. So we're gonna use the function, predefined function, delete by ID, and we're gonna set this ID row that we just used here. So after that, we close that and we return. And in this part, we have to be careful with what we write, because we want to make sure this remains on the same file, on the same page. So redirect, colon, double point, slash, and exercise list. So it remains basically on the same page. So after this, the structure is not correct, so we close it in the end. Yes, that's it. So we save it constantly, Control S, and then we run this program again. I'm going to run it again so to see how the changes are happening here. And once we press Control R to reload, then we get it. What if we try to click on this? Oh yes, it deletes the row, so it works. And then we're gonna delete this one too. And that's it. So that's pretty much how the delete functionality works on TimeLeaf, at least the one of the easiest ways. Now we're gonna create, of course, after this, some add button at the end within the A tag. We're gonna call it add. So that's gonna be our next move. We're gonna add a new file soon. Let's play this.